message. So an example, I should have an example here. Well, it's indicated by italics, bold italicized, but I should have, like here, it says, and we're located. The low, L-O in located is bold italicized, so I'm going to use a rise in my voice inflection there. And we're located, as opposed to, and we're located. And we're located, and we're located. See, it has more impact. Impact, I use voice inflection on the word impact. Alright, so here is voice inflection. I've kind of underlined it so you can see where we might use voice inflection here. This will increase the value of your investment, as opposed to this will increase the value of your investment. This will increase, more importantly, you will have peace of mind. You will have greater stability. Instead of you'll have greater stability. You have greater stability. We can help you achieve the impossible. You can surpass your competition so that you can exceed your sales objectives. So that you can exceed your sales objectives versus so you can exceed your sales objectives. See, it has its boring. So you have to be using voice inflection. Now, I don't have it in every area that you should use it in because I want that to be a personal choice where you feel comfortable. But there are certain words that I do demand that you use voice inflection, and it's usually in a benefit statement. Yes?
Is there a danger of overdoing?
Yes, absolutely there's a danger of overdoing anything, right? I mean, everything's permissible, not everything's profitable, right? So, yeah, we wouldn't want to overdo anything that we do in life. So you wouldn't want to overdo voice inflection because that would sound very phony. But you wouldn't want to underdo it. I'd rather have you overdo it than underdo it. Does that make sense? Okay, volume. Okay, for the little front row here. You're really soft. And that might be cute when you're meeting a guy. But when you're on the phone, it's not cute. When you're on the phone, you sound somebody that's not very confident. You sound like wishy-washy, like who's she? Why is she on the phone? What's she, she's got nothing to say. He's got nothing to say. I don't want to just pick on the girls. But usually guys are a little bit more louder, right? They're a little louder than girls are. Girls are a little bit more soft-spoken. So you need to speak about 25% louder than what you would ordinarily do. So an example, doing so will project greater confidence in your voice. So if I just said it, doing so will project confidence in your voice. Doing so will project greater confidence in your voice. See? Can you hear the difference? So it's okay if you speak louder in a small environment, because some of you are in a real tiny environment. It's okay if you're talking the same language, meaning the script. But if you're talking about the date you had last night or the movie that you saw, then it's a distraction. If it's not business related, if it's personal, then the ears of everybody is going towards that conversation. But if you're all talking the same language, meaning the script is the language, then it's not a distraction. So it's okay to talk louder. Of course, you make sure you have noise canceling headsets because you don't want your prospects to hear everybody on the other side. Now me, I need to learn to tone it down. I'm very loud. Patrick was saying, we were in Leanne for the weekend for Labor Day, and he said, "You're really loud." And I said, "Yeah, and I'm proud of it. I would much rather be a loud person than somebody that's like this. I don't have much to say." But I do have to tone it down, because sometimes I'm too loud, so I have to tone it down. My kids will say, "Ma, quiet, you're too loud." So I do have to keep reminding myself to kind of tone it down. So if I'm in the call center with other agents and I happen to be talking, I'm going to talk really low so that others can't hear if I'm coaching, because I don't want to be a distraction. All right. Skip all that. Rate of speech. In your script, you should have areas that are underlined. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you got a hard copy of your script or not, but you should always have a hard copy as well as on your screen. And the hard copy should have areas where it's underlined. That means you have to deliberately slow down. Sometimes we talk too fast. Sometimes we talk too slow. If you talk too fast, the prospect's not going to understand you, especially because you have an accent, right? Well, we all have accents. I have an accent. Everybody has an accent, but you have an accent that they're not very familiar with in their country. If you're talking to somebody in Texas, you better slow down a little bit. Especially if you're talking to an elderly person, you got to slow down. You know, but you don't want to slow down to the point where you sound boring and you sound, you sound monotone. So we do what we call variable speeds in our pacing. You want to go fast with your pacing when you need to get through something that's not very important, and then you want to slow down when you want your prospect's full focused attention, and you pick it back up again, and then you slow down. And usually we slow down during something that's a benefit statement or something that's very important we want the prospect to pay attention to. So if you see the script partially underlined, then that tells you to slow down. I don't have it underlined in every area that you need to be slowing down at. Again, I want you to make that personal preference on your own, but there are specific areas that you must slow down. That's usually during a benefit statement. So here's an example. Upon your approval of our offer, we will process and, so I'm using voice inflection here. Upon your approval of our offer, we will process and issue you $300 cash into your new credit card processing account for you to use as you choose. You've got to slow down during that part because that is a phenomenal offer. We're paying them to try to do business with us. Our processing services are on a month-to-month basis. Slow down there because it's important to say. In fact, we do not have any contracts for you to sign. It's just a simple application. Additionally, strategic pause, our terminals, if you need one, are at no cost to you. We can reprogram them when you have. That's when you pick it back up. Make sure they understand that they don't have to use our terminals. They can use their own as they feel comfortable. But during the first 30 days, we really prefer them to use our terminal so we don't want them to cancel. We don't want them to drop their merchant account just yet. We want them to give us a try for 30 days so that they can compare the difference. And if they're not happy, they still have their other merchant provider right there to continue thereafter. When you say that, who says that? Salespeople don't want to encourage that. They want to discourage that, right? But we're encouraging them to keep your processor, just keep them at bay. Don't stop them. Don't cancel them. Just try us for 30 days and compare the difference. And then you can decide later. My company, Len, when did we finally cancel First Data and went solely with EMI? So after a couple of months, we waited, I thought it was like 3 months or 4 months, but we waited 2 or 3 months until we canceled them because we've been with them for 20 years. We really wanted to see if EMI was going to follow through with what they say they're going to follow through. So we had history over here that we could compare over here. So we were able to get a 2-3 month gauge and see that the savings were consistent. So then we just dropped the other. In fact, before I dropped the First Data, I contacted our rep and asked them if they could match or beat the price, and they couldn't. I wanted to give them a chance because we've been with them for 20 years. They couldn't match it, and certainly they couldn't beat it. So I canceled. They lost a customer over it. And here's some other examples. And here's a strategic pause. And with us, you never have to sign any contracts. Our relationship is on a month-to-month basis. And we guarantee we will never raise your rates as long as you are a customer. This is in the script, by the way. I just cut and paste what's in the script. So that's where you're putting it all together. Voice inflection, strategic pause, and variable speeds in your pacing. Okay, pitch. Now, this is really important because you guys are on the phones for what, 7 to 8 hours a day? You're talking, we know, because when you're not on the phone, you're talking to your friends, your colleagues, or on your cell phone. You're talking all day long, right? All night long. And all day when you're not sleeping. And if you're like my husband, you're talking in your sleep. We're all talking, right? Sorry, Lynn. So we need to, we get tired, right? At the end of your shift, are you tired? Yeah, you're tired. Most of us are tired at the end of our shift. I'm tired right now. I've been up since 6:30 this morning. I'm tired. But most of us are, tired. So to minimize that, we need to breathe correctly. So let's do a little exercise right now. Okay, just sit up straight. Good. And by the count of 3, I want you all, and when we're done with this here, before I get into the rest, we'll take a 10-minute break where you get your pizzas and sodas, and you can sit here and eat them, because I want to make use of our time. So I want to come back and teach you while you eat and drink. Is that okay? All right. But we'll take a 10-minute break for you to have that little puff or go to the bathroom. All right, so by the count of 3, I want you to take a deep breath as if you were diving into a pool of water. Okay? And then you're going to go down under Australia, all the way to the end of the pool and back again. I'm not going to ask you to hold it that long, but that's the type of deep breath I want you to take, okay? You with me? All right. By the count of 3, we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Let it out. I didn't see anything going on back there. Okay, we're going to do it again. I can see you. I want you to take a deep breath. You have to do the exercise. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Good. Now let it out. All right. Did you raise your chest? Yes. Yeah, you went. Sorry. You're breathing incorrectly. So, see, baby, when a baby is lying flat on their back, what's moving? When they're breathing. Their tummy's going in and out, right? They're not going. Okay, their tummy's going in and out. They're breathing from their diaphragm. When you're sleeping, you're breathing correctly, because that's how God created your body, to breathe this through the diaphragm. But when, so I just breathed in correctly. And what happens is when you're breathing incorrectly, you exert yourself and you become tired, more tired. And so put your hands here where your diaphragm is, right here. Okay, so you need to pooch this out. Can everybody see me back there? If not, you can stand up if you need to see me. But you need to pooch this out, not suck it in. I mean, it's okay. No one's gonna say, "Ooh, look at that." Right? They're not gonna see that. So you have to pooch it out like a balloon. So you put your hands here, and then you go. Do it again. One more time. Now do it incorrectly, deliberately. You feel the air coming from a different part of your body? Like that. Sometimes it even hurts up here if you do it too often. But down, do it now, do it here. You want the air to go all the way where you actually feel it in the back, here. So breathing correctly will help you last longer. So that's the reason why we do the exercise, to validate to you that you're on the phone, you're breathing, talking. Try to breathe from your diaphragm. Mentally work that. Now, I only learned that when I was taking voice lessons years ago. I took voice lessons. Actually, I don't know, you know Journey? Yeah. Well, the lead singer then, not your lead singer, who's, by the way, fantastic. Oh my God. And he's cute, right? He's cute. Arnell, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, Journey, the lead vocalist, I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area, and that's where Journey is from, San Francisco Bay Area. Actually, years ago, I sold water treatment, and I sold them a water treatment system for their house. And they had, up in Woodland Hills, up near San Francisco, they had a, I don't know, 5 or 6 car garage. They had gold inlaid faucets and marble. I was able to go in the house before they moved in and sell them a water treatment system. Anyway, his vocalist was my coach. And I went to her for about 3-4 months, and I had to stop because she said, there's something wrong with your vocal cords, something. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something wrong. I need you to see a ear, nose, throat doctor. Well, they stuck something down my throat and made me sing like la 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 la, you know, and my vocal cords don't open and close correctly. And so that's why my voice is the way it is, because it just doesn't open and close. And as I get older, it gets even lower. And I would have surgery on it, and it was only a 50% chance that I would come out even being able to speak.